Criminal Minds episodes that are based off of real true crime cases, Part 1. This is your extra warning, this case is very graphic. In Season 1, Episode 11, the BAU team hunts a killer who eats the organs of his victims. This was inspired by Trenton Chase, a serial killer, cannibal, and necrophile who killed 6 people in Sacramento in the span of 1 month in the late 1970s. Richard was also known as the Vampire of Sacramento because he would drink the blood of his victims and eat some of their remains. Richard was a known hypochondriac. He claimed that his heart would often stop beating and that someone had stolen his pulmonary artery. He would torture and kill animals, eat them raw, and would sometimes mix their organs with soda in a blender and drink the mixture. Then in 1976, Richard was involuntarily committed to a psych ward after injecting rabbit's blood into his veins. Once there, he broke the neck of 2 birds he caught through the hospital window and drank their blood, amongst many other horrifying things involving therapy dogs. Because of his obsession with blood, he was nicknamed Dracula by the staff. Richard was later diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, where he underwent treatment, but he was later released after being deemed no longer a threat to society. Once out, Richard's mom weaned him off of his medication, leading to a 1977 arrest after police found him on a reservation in Nevada completely covered in cow's blood. He also had a bucket of cow's blood in his truck, but no charges were ever filed. Then in late December of 1977, Richard killed his first known victim, 51-year-old Ambrose Griffin, in a drive-by shooting. 2 weeks later, he tried breaking into a woman's home, but her doors were locked, so he left. Richard later said that he took locked doors as a sign that he was not welcome, but unlocked doors were an invitation to come inside, much like fictional vampires. Then a few weeks later, Richard broke into Teresa Wallen's home, who was 3 months pregnant at the time, and fatally shot her 3 times. He then SA'd her body, removed multiple organs, and drank her blood, amongst many other terrible things. 4 days later, Richard broke into Evelyn Miroth's home, fatally shot her 6-year-old son, and her 2-year-old nephew. He then SA'd Evelyn's body and ate some of her remains. Richard was arrested shortly after this. At his trial, his defense heavily focused on his history of mental illness, but ultimately, Richard was found guilty of 6 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to death in the gas chamber. While in prison, he had a series of bizarre interviews where he talked about aliens and UFOs. Then on December 26, 1980, Richard died by suicide following an overdose of prescribed medication.